This is KSTP, Channel 5, St. Paul, Minneapolis. Straight ahead from your 24-hour news channel. This is Eyewitness News at 10.
I certainly could have shown better judgment.
I'm here today to accept responsibility for not reporting the incident to the appropriate authorities.
Scandals first brought down former DFL House Majority Leader Alan Welly, then Speaker of the House Dee Long. Tonight, the overhaul of party leadership is finished, and that's our top story. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Tonight, the DFL is hoping for a fresh start and a new image.
The party held a caucus at the state capitol with 3 House members vying to become Majority Leader. Now, that decision came about an hour ago. Reporter Ross Kurgis joins us live with the results. Ross?
Well, Mike, tonight's decision could affect the DFL leadership for years to come. Brooklyn Center Representative Phil Carruthers was the leader and the odds-on favorite to win going in, and he gained election on the first ballot tonight. But it's clear he has a big job ahead of him. It was a show of unity for a party that has a hard time agreeing on anything when they reached agreement on a majority leader on the first ballot. Brooklyn Center Representative Phil Carruthers becomes the first suburban representative in years to hold a majority position of power in a choice he says sends a message for change.
I would say building the, earning the trust and confidence of people, showing that we can do a good job, that we will have a productive session, efficient session, that there won't be a lot of backbiting and finger pointing and partisanship. We've got to be positive for the people of Minnesota.
The not-so-positive messages, such as Phonegate, played a key role in this decision. Carruthers' opponents, Fridley Representative Wayne Simino and St. Paul Representative Alice Hausman, argued they could best heal the party. But the vote gives the House DFL a new look, with the younger Carruthers meshed with the experienced and forceful Speaker Irv Anderson.
What this just does now is complements the team, provides a little balance for the caucus now, a little bit more cohesion in terms of the diversity in the caucus with the election of Phil Carruthers.
Anderson is already claiming he and Carruthers have started the wheels of change, calling for an expanded ethics committee. But the biggest challenge facing this new leadership team will be retaining the DFL majority in the '94 election. After bad publicity and a leadership change, they're already mounting the offensive to defeat the biggest Republican threat of their majority since 1986.
After yesterday's Independent Republican Caucus, convention, I hardly believe it's theirs. I see that they've got probably more trouble than the Democrats have got. And to tell you the truth, I don't see much trouble for the Democrats right now.
Well, it's clear the honeymoon won't be long for this new team. The House starts a mini-session in southern Minnesota tomorrow, and this new team will likely hear from a lot of Minnesotans who haven't been very happy with state government the past few years.
There are a few of those out there.
Okay, thanks, Ross.
Well, the question tonight, so will this put an end to the turmoil in the DFL party?
Yeah, of course, it'll take a while to get the answer to that one, but meanwhile, someone who's always got something to say about local politics is Barbara Carlson. She joins us now live from the newsroom.
Barbara, thank you. What do you make of tonight's developments? What do you think of Carruthers?
Well, I think he's bright, I think he's talented, and I think he's going to work very hard with that caucus, while Irv Anderson is going to be a pit bull going after the governor.
Barbara, you know, we're having a little trouble hearing you. There's a microphone right on the desk. If you can grab that. I'm afraid no one showed you where that was. We can sort of hear you.
You know what? I think it did it.
Live television.
Did it fall off?
Can you repeat that a little bit just in case people didn't hear it?
Certainly, I can.
Yeah.
What I think is going to occur is that Mr. Carruthers is going to be a very, very fine majority leader. I think while he's the majority leader, however, you are going to find Irv Anderson going tooth and nail against Governor Carlson.
Barbara, DFLers obviously have kind of an image problem right now with these scandals. Do you think it's DFLers, or do most people just seem to be unsatisfied with politics in general at this point?
I believe that people are still tired of politicians. One of the things that Mr. Carruthers has going for him is he has a real job. He's an attorney, a trial attorney. So I think that that is going to speak well to the general public. I don't think that they like people that are just simply legislators, and it will be a wait and see.
Well, I tell you what, a year ago, most people couldn't have told you who the majority leader was for the life of them. Do you think now, with the scandals that we've had, this becomes a more important position, more in the spotlight?
It is. The Speaker of the House, Mike, is the second most powerful job in the state of Minnesota. So Irv Anderson finally has the power. He's wanted it for years. And yes, I think with all of the failures that have occurred, of course, people are much more aware of what a speaker does.
And along those same lines, finally, Barbara, do you think politicians have learned their lesson about this?
Well, I certainly hope that they have learned the lesson, but I still want them to have a good time. And as long as they have a good time, they're going to be able to make mistakes, and the media will cover them.
You betcha. All right, always a pleasure to have you. Thanks very much,
Thank
Barbara.
you.
Thanks, Barbara. Well, tomorrow is D-Day for hundreds of Richfield families. It's the day MAC, the Metropolitan Airports Commission, will decide whether to buy out 2 subdivisions. The reason? Airport noise. Tonight we talked to some people who desperately want out and others who are fighting to stay in their homes.
There you go.
There is nothing more precious than the sound of a child laughing, but oftentimes little Cody's laughter is drowned out by the roar of jetliners. Cody's family lives in New Fordtown, one of 2 communities less than 1,500 feet away from the end of the airport's busiest runway.
You know, our entire house shakes. The windows rattle. We have to completely stop off conversation a lot of times.
That's why Shannon supports the buyout plan, in which homes closest to the airport will be purchased by MAC. But some in the neighborhood don't want to leave. For example, Bonnie, who's lived here 40 years.
And I'm not for the buyout. I'd like to stay in this home. It's maintenance-free. For me, I enjoy my yard, my garden, and I don't know where else I'd go.
The only real solution there is not insulation or whatever. It's got to be outright acquisition.
The FAA provides funds to insulate or buy back homes with noise problems, but MAC's executive director says in this case, insulation isn't an option.
And the reason we're talking about acquisition is because the noise levels are so high that really these people never get away from the roar of the jet noise taking off on our runways towards South Minneapolis.
Last Thursday, MAC met to discuss the buyback plan one more time before tomorrow's big vote. The FAA has approved $12 million for the program, but now the 15 commissioners have to decide whether they want to accept the money and go ahead with the plan. Now that $12 million would be for this year alone. It's estimated the total buyback program of 400 homes will cost $50 million and take about 5 years. As we mentioned, the vote is scheduled for tomorrow. We'll let you know what MAC decides on our 5, 6, and 10 o'clock newscasts.
Well, the search is on tonight for an accused kidnapper last seen in Minnesota. 50-year-old Peter John Butler led police on a high-speed chase early this morning, then managed to escape on foot near Granite Falls. Now, Peter Butler is 6'3", 210 pounds, with brown hair and hazel eyes. He was wearing black pants, a black shirt, and black shoes. Now, Butler is accused of kidnapping a Minneapolis prostitute last month and taking her to Iowa, where she later escaped. Anyone seeing Butler is urged to call 911. Well, several rural Minnesota town leaders have been tricked into thinking they'll get a new doctor. The FBI is investigating reports that a man claiming to be a recruiter promised to refer physicians to the towns. In exchange, the towns would pay him at least $2,000. Now, a number of town officials fell for the scheme because they're so desperate for someone to care for their residents.
Here's a frightening thought. Twin Cities pipeline damage has already surpassed last year's total. That's because of this summer's fatal gas explosion on St. Paul's east side. As you'll remember, 3 people died in the blast and 11 others were hurt when a city crew hit a gas line with a backhoe. The explosion leveled an entire block along 3rd and Mariah. NSP says 2 of 3 accidents are caused because work crews don't always follow safety laws. A passenger in a U.S. Army truck is dead, the result of a rollover accident. The 5-ton truck crashed yesterday near the town of Buffalo, Minnesota. The driver of the truck slammed on the brakes to miss a car in front of him. The truck then skidded out of control and landed in a ditch. 28-year-old Scott Stammer died in the crash. He's from St. Michael, Minnesota. The accident remains under investigation.
Those who've served this country and are still prisoners or missing in action are being remembered tonight. This afternoon, veterans and their families gathered in St. Paul for National POW MIA Recognition Day.
We gather here with hope that we will never forget those brave Americans who gave life and liberty.
The names of missing Minnesotans were read during the ceremony, and military helicopters conducted a flyover in salute to the POW MIAs.
Strange inheritance story coming out of Caledonia, Minnesota tonight. Retired Professor Dwan Wick died with no wife or children, just a cat and $545,000 in cash and property. A probate court has granted Wick's final request that all his money go to dogs and cats. Wick left every penny to the Purina Pets for People program. It provides senior citizens with pets free of charge. It's a nice legacy to leave.
It's a good program, a lot of money for it. Still ahead on Eyewitness News, let Demyanya go. Israel's Supreme Court again orders the release of the man many say is really Ivan the Terrible.
Another Mideastern peace mission is underway as Egypt tries to calm Arab nerves.
The space shuttle plays a high-tech, multi-million-dollar game of catch.
And in sports, a pennant wasn't the only thing being chased on the baseball field today.
What was that? Well, half the weekend was nice, wasn't it? It's raining out there right now. I'll let you know how long that's going to last in the AccuWeather 5 forecast.
You protect yourself inside your car. Protect yourself under the hood, too.
Walmart helps you take care of your car and your budget.
Haviland Formula 3 provides complete engine protection. Or try Haviland Synthetic Motor Oil for better protection for the long run. Either way, you add more life to your car.
And because we always sell for less, Walmart's better protection too.
Like a seatbelt for your wallet. Walmart. Always the low price. Always.
If you like fresh chicken, but don't like excess fat, excess skin, or excess skin feathers, try Golden Plump Chicken instead. Golden Plump comes already trimmed and clean, so there's no extra work. The choice is up to you. Golden Plump. More chicken, less work.
If you're one of those people who's always running a little late, Dayton's 2-day sale is just for you.
This is Sunday, isn't it?
2 days to save 20 to 40% throughout the store.
It's better be Sunday.
So even if you do miss the first day, you don't have to miss out on all the savings at Dayton's 2-day sale. Dayton's 2-day sale, this Wednesday and Thursday only.
The 1993 Pontiac Sunbird. You may never see Sunbird cash back like this again. You may never see a price this low again. So see the 93 Sunbird soon, because this offer ends soon, and you may never see a deal like it again. See your Pontiac Excitement dealers now.
NYPD Blue and why it's so controversial.
At 3.
John Demjanjuk must be freed from prison. That's the ruling today from Israel's Supreme Court.
Demjanjuk is a retired U.S. auto worker accused of being Nazi death camp officer Ivan the Terrible. Demjanjuk has been in prison since 1986. He was even convicted of war crimes, but in July, the Israeli Supreme Court threw out the conviction for lack of evidence. U.S. officials say if Demjanjuk wants to return to America, they won't stop him.
This is actually the third time he was free to go, and twice before the plug was pulled. So, you know, nothing is over until it's over. So we're approaching this with great caution, not a whole lot of elation.
Right now, Demjanjuk remains in protective custody. His travel plans will not be disclosed.
Other stories from around the world tonight take us to Cairo and yet another peace summit. Israeli Prime Minister Rabin met with Egyptian President Mubarak today in an effort to get all Arab countries behind the recent peace accord. Mubarak says Syria and Israel will sign a declaration of peace by the end of the year, and other Arab nations will follow soon after that. Yasser Arafat was also in Cairo today to defend his pledge of peace with Israel. Arafat is having the most trouble with Libya and Iraq. Leaders in those countries oppose the peace accord with Israel. Now, one bit of personal news from the 64-year-old Arafat. His 30-year-old wife is pregnant. This will be his first child. Riots broke out in London today in response to a racist skinhead winning a city council seat. 27 people were arrested when skinheads clashed with hundreds of opponents. This is the first time since 1976 that a racist political party won any election in Britain. And in Gainesville, Florida, a deadly case of deja vu. One college co-ed was stabbed to death and another seriously wounded late last night. The attack comes 3 years after another string of attacks that left several Florida State co-eds dead. One man has been arrested for that attack.
They were shooting some home movies today high above the Earth as the Space Shuttle Discovery crew wrapped up its most important job. The German telescope was plucked from orbit and packed away in the cargo bay as the shuttle crew prepares for Tuesday's return home. The telescope captured images of stars 6 billion light years away. The robotic arm also carried a movie camera that took pictures of the shuttle in flight. That video will be used for an upcoming movie. Does look like a Star Wars movie there almost.
They're having a lot of fun up there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Coming up next, meteorologist Chris Grote has the back-to-work forecast, which can't be any worse than today's weather.
That's certainly true. Pack it up, drive it over, and haul it out. It's moving day on the University of Minnesota campus.
And a little later, this Spud's for you. Some crazy folks in Idaho throw a potato party. Stay with us.
Remodel your bathroom with savings from Menards.
All Price Pfister bath faucets are on sale now. This double-handle faucet features a 20-year warranty and solid brass construction. Just $19.96. Artesian makes beautiful tubs, showers, and toilets for your bath. Choose this gorgeous white pedestal sink or tub surround. Just $99 each. Depend on Menards for the best bathroom savings.
Save big money at Menards.
At Towsley Conversion Van Center, the Northland's largest volume Ford conversion van dealer, we're committed to giving you the best value and the easiest, most pleasant buying experience possible. We have over 150 conversion vans, all pre-discounted, to give you our best price automatically. You don't have to negotiate. Everyone pays the same low, bottom-line price. Drive in luxury and comfort when you lease for as low as $299 a month. And our conversion van specialists are trained to assist only van customers, and they're salaried, not commissioned, here at Towsley's exclusive Conversion Van Center, White Bear Lake.
The rate will be based on the 3 months London interbank offered rate as published in...
There's a good reason why ads about banks are so boring. They rarely have anything interesting to say. But at First Star Bank, we have something rather significant to announce. We have quite a bit of money to lend to qualified borrowers, and at a very attractive rate. Call or visit your local First Star office. We're not like the other banks.
In the next 24 hours, more people will buy a new Ford Taurus than any other car. World-class quality and design made Taurus America's best-selling car. Plus a driver's airbag, available passenger airbag, and four-wheel anti-lock brakes make safety our top priority. And just announced a special factory-authorized clearance bonus on Taurus. How will you spend the next 24 hours? If you're like many, you'll spend them at the Ford Factory Authorized Clearance. Going on now at your local Northland Ford dealer.
Everything's on sale during Wick's 36-hour sale. Put no money down with no payments and no interest charges due till March with a Wick's charge.
Wick's, surprisingly, Wick's.
Well, it wasn't what you'd call the perfect day for moving. In fact, you could say it was downright miserable weather for that.
Yeah, for about anything else, too. But nonetheless, it was moving day at the University of Minnesota as thousands of college students headed back for another school year. It was hectic on campus today as students hauled crates and boxes into residence halls.
Well, I just got to get everything in, get the loft built, get everything settled, and so on.
But fortunately, students have a few days to relax after they get everything built because classes begin on Thursday.
Still, between now and then, they're not going to have much of a break from this lousy weather, are they?
Not a whole lot of sun coming up this week. We're turning into a more fall-like weather pattern. It's going to keep us cooler, a little wetter. Getting the loft built, that brings back memories. Man.
Oh, it wasn't that long ago there.
Just long enough. Well, it is going to be raining for the next about 24 hours, then it's going to taper off a little bit. We could keep the clouds around for a while, though. Kind of tough to shake them. You need a big change of air, a lot of wind, preferably from a westerly or northwesterly fashion. You can watch for that. This is Dinkytown earlier. A soggy Sunday. The rain began about 1, 2 o'clock here in the Twin Cities. It's continued off and on, and will continue to do so. Let's look at the radar, please. Okay, the green is the rain. The darker green is the heavier rainfall. This will back up there, 6 o'clock. Here's a little stripe of heavier rain moving to the north. And you can kind of see there's a bit of a break here. Little hole in the rain. The showers are breaking up. But this stuff down here, really the center of the system. This is a live picture. Marshall to Worthington, Mountain Lake, and St. James. This area of rainfall will be drifting over the top of us for about the next 24 hours or so. So bring the umbrella tomorrow, and the jacket will probably be necessary. It's going to be chilly once again outside Minneapolis and St. Paul. It's 52 degrees. The dew point's 49. If you just want to eyeball a predicted low temperature for overnight, shoot it towards that dew point. So that means it's going to be pretty warm tonight. A lot of moisture in the atmosphere keeps it warm. Temperature shouldn't fall off too much. 89% relative humidity. Could be some fog out there also. Winds from east at 18, and the barometric pressure is falling. How much rain did we get today? 29 hundredths. Boy, sure doesn't sound like much for it raining all day, right? 55 at noon. The records are 94 and 33, and the sun will set at 7:18 on Monday evening. Here's a satellite picture. This is kind of looking wintry. You'll see a few of these this winter. Usually these are the types of storms that produce quite a bit of snow. Still too warm for that. Here's the center of it. It's going to be slowly just kind of wobbling its way over the top of us, and by tomorrow it should be near La Crosse and Eau Claire. Kind of a cold rain out over Wisconsin. Western Minnesota will slowly see some sun during the daytime hours. In eastern Minnesota, western Wisconsin, a gray day all day long. Temperatures well, they may struggle to about 60 degrees during the afternoon hours, but there'll be a lot of upper 50s out there. Cool and blue under the rain. A little warmer air sitting out on the western horizon. You'll need sun for that. There aren't any 70s in the forecast, but by about Tuesday, maybe we'll see some sun. That should warm things up. The AccuWeather 5 forecast overnight tonight. Temperatures remaining pretty steady. We might drop about 4 degrees. Rain off and on, and wind. Easterly winds at 15 to 25. When you wake up tomorrow morning, kind of cool, wet. Temperatures right around 50 degrees. And in the afternoon, we can hope for about 60. The showers will become a little more few and far between as the day wears on. Monday night, still kind of gray, gloomy. Could be some fog. And into Tuesday, well, the brightest day of the bunch, a mix of clouds and sun, and highs in the upper 60s. Then we get into another one of these little systems in the series that will bring us some rainfall Tuesday night into Wednesday. That's the extended outlook. And, of course, with the rain, temperatures will be a little bit cooler. Pretty typical of fall. You start to see these systems start to move out. Let's hope that it's not the pattern for winter, because one snowstorm every other third day wouldn't be that great, would it?
It'd be a very long winter.
It would be. It would be.
Longer than usual.
Yeah.
See you later.
Thanks, Chris.
Coming up next in sports, we'll show you our Fab 5 plays from Week 3 of the NFL season.
Yeah, but there wasn't anything fab about today's Twins game, unless, of course, you're a Blue Jays fan. Eric Christensen has it all. Coming up next.
How about a burger, baby?
I don't want no burger. Sit down with the clown today. I want a fresh, delicious sandwich like the submarines that they serve at Subway. I don't want no greasy chicken. Don't want my dinner from a big machine. I want to savor every bite. I want a treat tonight. I want a Subway sub shop submarine.
Buy any footlong and 22-ounce soft drinks after 4 p.m. and get a second footlong for 99 cents.
How well you see is our first concern. We also care about how you look. We're Walmart's Vision Center, with everything you want in eyewear at a low Walmart price every day.
You can see the savings.
Quality frames to suit your style, a professional staff, precision equipment, and your satisfaction guaranteed. Walmart's Vision Center. Any way you look at it,
We've got what you're looking for.
Walmart. Always. Remember your first project? Knox knows that feeling. Like the first time you hammered a nail in, straight. The smell of fresh cut wood. The thickness of pure white paint. It all starts at Knox, where we've been helping you with your projects for over 60 years. With quality products and low prices. From people who know what they sell. When your next project rolls around, it's Knox. We work to make your job easier.
The future is now at your neighborhood Chrysler Plymouth dealer's minivan store. Nowhere else is there a better selection of minivans. Minivans so advanced, they meet 1998 federal car safety standards now. The 94 Plymouth Voyager, Grand Voyager, Chrysler Town and Country, all with more available safety features than anyone else. Plus, see our other great 94 values, like Plymouth Duster. The future is now at your neighborhood Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
This Eyewitness News weather update is sponsored by your Twin City Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
AJ Binkley, that's what they call me. You're about to see why no one will ever ask me to sit in their race car again. I was in this pack of so-called celebrities who made a shambles of tires and hay bales at the annual Mini Grand Prix in downtown St. Paul. Actually, we got better as it went on. But in the meantime, there were some truly serious racers here, as always. We raised about $30,000 for the Arthritis Foundation.
And I know we mentioned it earlier, but it warrants mentioning again how much he looked like Speed Racer from that old cartoon thing. There you go.
Deceptive speed, Mike. Deceptively slow.
I took the bronze. I finished third.
Good for you.
It was a blast.
Yeah, someone else took some bronze today down at the Dome. Been a great ride for Dave Winfield now that he's reached the 3,000 mark. Beforehand, it was a long, hard ride. That's why scenes today at the pregame ceremony before the game between the Blue Jays and Twins was pretty special when Dave Winfield was awarded a bronze bat, among other things, by his mates. That's the positive from today's game. This is the negative, as they say. The Blue Jays pounding out 9 doubles. Talk about double trouble en route to a 10-0 win. That's a series sweep for the Jays, and now a 4-game lead over New York for them and 5 over Baltimore. And I don't know about you, but I have seen enough. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, I'll be pinch hitting for Joe Schmidt on Sunday Sports Wrap, where we will have a complete Winnie wrap on what has been quite a week and quite a career. All that plus Viking Barry Word in studio. Week 3 of the NFL season didn't include the Vikings, who had the bye. Next week, they'll take on the Packers at the Dome. The only NFC Central team that played today were the Lions, and they ran into the quarterback with the hottest hand. Whiskey Wade Wilson threw 2 touchdowns and leading the Saints to a 14-3 win. Yeah, he rolled on today in his personal performance. The defense took over from there, stopping another Barry Sanders and the rest of the Lions offense. The Saints are 3-0. The Lions are 2-1. Time now to check out our Channel 5 Fab Plays of the week. We began in Philadelphia, and the big game turned in by the Eagles' dynamic duo of Randall Cunningham and Calvin Williams. Williams took off with this pass for an 80-yard touchdown, 1 of 3 that he hooked up with Randall on. Williams had 8 catches for 181 yards. The Eagles rallied to beat the Skins 34-31. Philly, yeah, they're off to a 3-0 start. Here's the prettiest catch today. New England's Mike Farr goes all out to grab that one. Watch the slow-mo again. Just a great catch. You've heard of full body extension? This is it defined. Unfortunately, it didn't help Seattle beat New England 17-14. Another great catch today actually made by a quarterback off his own pass. Watch Steve Young scrambles a little bit more, finally dumps a little pass, hits a defender, bounces back to him. What a pass. What a catch. 49ers back on track, winning in a shootout 37-30 over the Falcons. Out in San Diego, the Chargers can't seem to score touchdowns, but John Carney still getting his kicks. For the second time in 3 weeks, Carney hit 6 field goals today. He also extended his field goal streak to 29 straight. That's a record. The Chargers edged the Oilers 18-17. Call of the day came in Los Angeles. The Browns trailed the Raiders by 4 points last play of the game, and Eric Metcalf will take the pitch and find his way into the end zone to win the game for the Browns. Cleveland continues to surprise and lead the AFC Central at 3-0, 19-16 Browns, and there you have our Channel 5 Fab Plays of the week. Elsewhere from Week 3, it was Pittsburgh over Cincy 34-7, the Giants over the Rams 20-10. Tonight, Dallas beat Phoenix 17-10. Things looked a lot like the Tour de France downtown Minneapolis this afternoon, only this isn't the Champs-Élysées. This is Marquette Avenue. Today, some of the world's finest cyclers in the world competed in the Norwest Cup. 120 miles of bicycling turned from cold to dry to cold to wet. But Chris Huber of California had a warm feeling, winning the race and his first place prize money and trophy from a $75,000 purse. Huber completed the course just over 4 hours, 9 minutes. Norwest Cup's final event on the Tour of America. Let's quickly get you caught up on how baseball's pennant contenders fared today. Boston beat New York 8-3. Baltimore over Milwaukee 8-4. Chicago over Oakland. They get a little breathing room because California beat Texas 9-8. National League, the Expos are within 4 of the Phils after beating them today 6-5. And it's the Mets losing to Atlanta tonight 11-2. Finally tonight, it's certainly the time of the year for fall fashion, but let's hope one of those trends isn't the outfit an Expo fan displayed today in Montreal. Thank goodness this little guy had his eyes closed. Oh yes, they used to call people like this the Streak. And oh yes, this goofball was just as proud as he could be of his anatomy. He gave us baseball fans and you and I a peek. Please, please can that fad end and no more.
Up in Montreal that was, right? That wasn't in Philly, was it?
That was north of the border.
An Expos fan. Oh, that was really bad.
Thanks, kids.
Coming up next, maybe they've got too much spare time in Idaho.
Maybe we got too much spare time here, whether it's mashed, fried, or baked. They can't get enough of their potatoes. We'll be back.
Yeah, ready. Why not? The president says we all have to do our part to balance the budget. Well, okay. Here at Cub, we'd like to suggest a way to drastically cut spending. Shop at Cub.
We've got good products, good prices.
Really looks good. Yeah. Here you get the finest groceries, the freshest produce, at the lowest overall prices. That's why it's one way to cut spending without tightening your belt.
Kimberly Greenwell didn't believe following Weight Watchers would work. Nor did Roger Dacre. And they're just 2 of the millions of people we've taught to lose weight at Weight Watchers, eating delicious everyday foods or using our personal cuisine food plan. And if you join now, you can even register free. Save $19. So hurry and call Weight Watchers today.
It's been our observation that where there's a popular car, there's a lease. And where there's a lease, there's one of these. And, well, here's ours, accompanied by the Fillmore String Quartet, who, by the way, would all fit very comfortably inside the Isuzu Trooper, seeing how it's probably the most spacious four-wheel drive around. Why, they could probably even add another member if they wanted to. Maybe not. The Isuzu Trooper and the Trooper Lease. Practically amazing.
Don't you just hate perfect couples?
The first annual Bertice Berry in Perfect Couple Ped.
On the next Bertice Berry Show.
Monday morning at 9 on Channel 5.
Finally tonight, Minnesotans know snow, so what do people in Idaho know? Well, potatoes, of course.
Yeah, and since we celebrate winter and cold weather here, they celebrate potatoes out there. Today was the 65th annual Idaho Potato Harvest Festival. Residents in Shelley, Idaho marked the occasion with a salute to the spud. They had a parade, a French fry eating contest, and everyone's favorite, the mashed potato tug-of-war. They used thousands of tons of instant potato flakes and a cement mixer to mash those potatoes. Ooh, I wouldn't want to lose that one.
I promise no more bad puns.
Okay.
At least the rest of this night.
That's because we're done. That wraps up this late edition of Eyewitness News.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us.
Sunday Sports Wrap coming up next.
24. Next week, check your local listings. Regional coverage starts at noon Eastern Time. Some of you will see Texas A&M and Texas Tech. Then we come back at 3:30 Eastern Time. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame against the team you just watched, Stanford. And then at a special time, 4 o'clock Pacific, USC and Arizona.